Got a natural edge walnut bowl on my lathe. I turned this bowl, a couple, maybe 3 years ago. I turned it to finished green. I prefer to do that with a natural edge bowl. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I've got a decent curve all the way through. It's balanced pretty good on either edge. At the wings, it's balanced pretty good the other way, and that's always important, unless you're trying to showcase grain. But my intention was to turn a balanced bowl, and I'm pretty happy with that. Turn into finished green, the bowl will warp, and you'll be a little irregular. It's not that important on a natural edge bowl to worry about that. I'm very happy with the bark on this bowl. It really stayed on well. I did stabilize it with super glue, so that probably helped. Even without the bark, I like a natural edge bowl. I think they're still pretty bowls. This bowl did crack a little bit. You can see it right here. That's really not too bad. You can see, though, that the crack is bigger on the inside. That's because when this bowl dries, this wing and this wing will close towards the middle. Actually forced the crack closed a little bit out here, but it forced it open on the inside. There's another crack. Don't know how well you can see it down inside here. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to fill that or leave it for character. There's some really nice grain around it. I like that it's open, but it will probably keep me from using my vacuum chuck to finish the bottoms, so I may go ahead and end up filling it. This crack, inside and out, I filled with super glue and sawdust. One thing I'm not especially happy about on this bowl, my thickness is a little off. I'm maybe about 3/8 or a ½ inch right here. I'm something less than 3/8 here. And I like for those to be uniform. It has warped enough that I can't do anything with that, so I'm just going to live with it. A lot of people that are not wood turners would never notice that. I've sanded it. I start sanding a bowl like this. I start with 120 grit. In fact, I start with 120 grit on just about every bowl I do. And I start with an angle drill and a 3-inch disc. I sand 120, and then I sand with 180. After I get to 180, I start over with 120 using a pneumatic sander, a Dynabrade, and I go through 120 all the way to 320, and with the bowl spinning at 50, 60 RPM, very slow. And I'm pretty happy with the results I get like that. I really don't like tool marks. I don't like blemished grain. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the finish I have on this. I think walnut is just the ideal wood for a natural edge bowl with the dark heartwood and the light sapwood and the dark bark. I really like that combination. One thing, the bowl turners here over and over, is you want the jaws on your truck all the way closed, as close as possible, as you can get them. I like to leave a little gap. That way I can fit my calipers in and see just how much material I have to work with. And I can see that I've only got about 1/4 of an inch there. So when I take this foot off, I have to be very careful on the bottom that I don't go through. The last thing I'm going to do on this bowl, before I decide to take it off and turn the foot off and sand the bottom, I'm going to wipe this down with naphtha. Naphtha is about the mildest solvent you can get. I'm still going to wear gloves. And it will show me just how good. It'll be just like a coat of finish. It'll show me just how good my sanding job is. I don't see any torn grain, especially on the end grain, which is important. I don't see any crushed grain. I don't have real bad staining where I filled that crack, so I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with how clean the sapwood is. So to me, the outside looks like it's ready for finish. I'm going to move to the inside. Okay, start wiping down the inside. Bottom looks good. I don't have any torn grain. Looks good there. Oh. Can you see this? Right there? That's not sanded good enough. Those are tool marks. Oh, there's another tool mark. Right there, right there. There's where I filled the crack. These are tool marks. I'm not going to leave that. So what I'll do is I'll let this dry now. It'll dry quickly because it's naphtha. I will start over with 120 grit with my drill motor. I'll lock my spindle. I'll sand this area down. And I'll sand this area down and get rid of those tool marks. Other than that, and deciding on whether I want to fill this crack in the bottom or not, this bowl is ready to take off and finish the bottom. It's important to do something like this because I couldn't see those tool marks without putting something on the bowl to show them to me. And the naphtha won't raise the grain real bad. Even if it does, I'm going to sand the whole bowl again anyway. So that's what I do before I take a bowl off the lathe when I think it's done. And it has saved me a lot of work and a lot of embarrassment as I've learned just exactly what to look for. Thanks for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and tell your friends.